Okay, we are live. Hi, Benjamin. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Happy to be
Yeah.
here.
Yes, so good to finally be able to connect with you. We are
Nice, nice. I'm happy too.
Yes, we are excited. So we'll go ahead and just let people log in. I'll go ahead and invite a few people to log in, and then we'll start. I see we have a few people logging in already. Guys, once you log in, just say hi in the comments so we can be able to see you. And keep inviting people, keep inviting people. Yes, did you have a busy day today?
Yep, as normal as you know, it's evening here.
Uh-huh.
But when you're busy, you're blessed.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, we are excited. We are excited. I just want to go ahead and tag a few people and then we can go ahead and start with our topic today. Welcome, guys. Welcome, guys. Keep inviting more people. This is Breaking Limitations. Go ahead and invite more people. Welcome to Breaking Limitations. As you all know, we meet every Thursday, either in the afternoon or in the evening. And our mission here is to empower, to equip, and to promote. And today I am so excited because I have Benjamin Zulu here from Kenya. And so we are really excited to have him. He's going to come and empower us and give us a little tips on how to live emotionally healthy lives. So guys, if you can go ahead and keep tagging your friends, keep tagging the different groups, and then we'll be able to start shortly. And once you log in, go ahead and just say hi in the comments so we can be able to see you. Because with the system I'm using, you have to say something in the comments for me to be able to see who you are. So thank you guys for logging in and keep tagging your friends. We will start shortly. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so like I said, this is Breaking Limitations. My name is Amy Joy, aka Joyce Marendes. And I am excited today to have Benjamin Zulu here with us. I already see some love hearts and comments saying hi. Oh my gosh, I love Benjamin's messages. So, Benjamin, we've been looking forward to having you, and we're excited to have you.
Thank you.
And yes, for you to just share with us what you know what God has put in your heart, because what you do is amazing, amazing, amazing. And we've been following you for a while.
Thank you.
And actually, when I heard you for the first time, I told one of my friends that I go with to church, and she was like, "Oh, I've been following him for a long time." And I was so mad at her. I was like, "What? You've been holding out on me?" Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
Yes, I was like, you'd been knowing all this all along, and you didn't tell me about it. So, um, yeah, but we are really excited to have you. So let me go ahead and just acknowledge a few people. We have Anne Moy who has logged in. We have Dr. Awa who's logged in. We have Tracy Jones. We have Dr. Clark who has also logged in. We have Bob Brodette also who has logged in. So guys, keep inviting more people and then we'll be able to start shortly. Okay. So today I won't even do much talking. I'll just listen and glean from you. So if you could go ahead and just greet the people and just introduce yourself. Tell them a little bit about yourself and then we'll start.
All right. So, as they have said, I'm Benjamin Zulu. I'm a life coach and a counseling psychologist. I'm based in Kenya. It's evening here.
Mhm.
So, Joy must be my friend to keep me awake this much.
Yes. We are
It's
so
2 hours.
grateful.
It's 2 hours past my bedtime. I'm one of those people who sleep early and wake early.
Really? You sleep at 8?
Yeah, I sleep 8, latest 9,
Oh my gosh.
but
Wow.
then but then I'm up at 3 or 4
Okay, okay.
to calibrate the day and attack the day. But because I have a lot of followership, I have a lot of clientele from. I'm used to this. So sometimes I'm doing something from another part of the world. Australia is also very far from us in terms of time. So I'm talking to America, Australia conferences. I do this quite often. So this is not out of the norm. Uh,
Okay.
Sooner or later, you adjust to your calling and your career.
Mm-hmm.
Don't become rigid. So I'm happy you guys can find it. I would rather be awake late myself than ask you guys because you are more to be awake late. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah. And I like the topic because we tend to emphasize physical health more because the bleeding is visible. When you're injured,
mm-hmm.
when a bone is broken, when you're bleeding, when you have a swelling,
Mm-hmm.
everybody says, "Oh my God, you're bleeding! Cry help! First aid! Please help this guy!" We all run to help you on your physical injury. But when you
Mm-hmm.
have a mental injury, all of a sudden now the narrative changes. Hey,
Yes.
you are thinking things. Everybody has stress. Stop, f- assume it. Jikaze in our language here, ati jikaze, all of a sudden we differentiate between emotional health and psychological health, and yet they are equally as important. In fact, the mental health is more sensitive because when you have some anxiety, when you have some fear, and more so today, what I want to emphasize because you don't hear about it being talked about is self-esteem.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh, when you have an issue with self-esteem, you have self-doubt, especially those nagging self-doubt. Joy, every woman has some area of insecurity about her body. It was around about her fatness or her tummy.
Oh Lord.
Most women are insecure about their tummy. They have an imaginary tummy, even when they know.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Most men have some insecurity about their body, about their height or their hair.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Never tell
hair?
a man, never tell a man he's too short for you. Don't ask him what happened on his head.
Oh, I didn't know about the hair.
The hair is sensitive. It's what tells men that their vitality is decreasing. There's a
Oh.
tendency to associate abundance of hair with
Mm-hmm.
vitality and youth. And there's a men who are scared of growing. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not among those men because I was introduced to that in primary school.
Wow.
I have,
Wow. I
people lose hair. I've never had hair, so I have nothing to lose. Am I not
oh,
blessed? So,
you are
I
saved from that trauma.
You know, my hair took an early vacation, so I don't remember. I don't remember using the comb. So self-esteem, those nagging self-doubts, and
Mm-hmm.
the hardest part is that it's your self-confidence that tells the world how much to value you. That's the saddest part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We are taught it in the reverse to see how people react to us, that we determine how to feel about ourselves.
Mm.
That's exactly the reverse.
Mm-hmm.
So that we are deriving our sense of self-worth from how people are reacting to us. Yet they are looking at how we project ourselves to determine
Mm.
how they react to us. Using
Us.
the cycle. We take children to school to drill them with the memorization of facts, Avogadro's law, arithmetic, and
Mm-hmm.
we teach them everything except the one thing that will determine their welfare. That
Mm-hmm.
is self-belief is everything. Now, here in Kenya, we have an artist who is funny. She's called Akode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen her.
That lady is talented in nothing, absolutely nothing.
Oh gosh. Please don't make sure she doesn't come to fight me over here.
She's a public figure, at least we can.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That girl is not a particularly good singer. Do you know any of her songs?
Mm-mm.
She's not particularly a good actor. She's not particularly, but yet she's sensationally famous because
Uh-huh.
she has a high self-confidence. That's all.
Confident. Mm.
That girl believes in herself until the world says there must be something about her. That's the effect. And I want to announce to women that it's not how you look that determines how we take you. It's how you feel about how you look.
Mm.
Many times you have not noticed your tummy until you start talking about it.
Yeah.
We have not noticed your fat. We don't know how you looked before. We were not there. You start, and we have these people who they are so accustomed to despising themselves, mistaking it for humility, that if you compliment their dress, they will correct you by telling you it's not worth that much. It's only a cheap thing.
Mm.
Compliment the thing, they correct you. Because usually when your self-esteem is low, when people value you more than you value yourself, you disagree with them. You never sit on a praise that you don't agree with. Therefore, you do not wait for compliment. And the funny thing with women is that they learn to derive a lot of self-satisfaction from their partners. And that's how they land on narcissists. Narcissists look on dependent women so they can put you in tenterhooks and then starve you of that affection you wanted to keep you under their thumb. The one thing you need to know is that mental health here in Africa, we associate it with losing it. When you say
Yeah.
psychologist,
Even here, yeah, I think it's everywhere. People look at mental health as mental illness, but it's just
and that's a myth we're trying to debunk.
yes.
Part of why I'm passionate, Joy, is because I can tell you women are dying of narcissistic abuse.
Mm-hmm.
When you hear a woman dying from stroke or heart attack, or more than half of the cases, it was mental, emotional abuse.
Mm-hmm.
More than half of the times, and because narcissists are perfect actors, to the world they are charming and polite, but at home they're a monster. The cases of people succumbing to depression, to covert abuse, hidden abuse are so high, but society is so quiet about this topic. Another element, one of these days we need to invite us to talk about narcissistic mothers. That's another phenomenon society is conveniently quiet about. Very convenient. We want to associate with the care and love, and we even name the earth as a she, country as a she, ocean as a she, ship as a she. We associate life giving with mothers. So we want to maintain that image of mothers are good people, happy Mother's Day. But there are women who know that their mother is the monster who ruined their lives.
Yes.
There are women out there who have a narcissist, by definition, is a person who has a twisted core. The rest of a normal person derives pleasure by causing pleasure. By if they make you feel good, they feel good. That's a normal person. But a narcissist must make you feel bad to feel entertained. They derive by sucking energy out of you. When you cry, they feel entertained. And I tell people sometimes that word narcissist is not even there in our career. As I've told you, we have sick curricula here.
Yeah.
They give people everything except what they need. Everything except what they need. One obvious fact is we should be introduced to these psychologically sick people who can trap you and turn your life to a living hell. So part of the thing we need to announce is a person who sees the hand at a girl who was born by a narcissistic mother. This is a double tragedy. And I always have an ongoing client. This is one client, this one streamline, I never lack an ongoing client. And of a narcissistic mother who went on to marry a narcissistic man. The reason is because from childhood she was criticized, put down, reduced, her self-esteem damaged, her self-confidence damaged. Then a narcissistic mother sees the girl as a competition because she's beautiful. If you want to know that you're dealing with a narcissistic mother, is she accused of you sleeping with your father, of you taking men away, or you trying to, even during weddings, they come there and they tell the man who is marrying you that he's making a mistake. You're the worst thing that could ever happen to him. Mothers do that. That's a narcissistic mother. They tell, after you get a child, they tell your in-laws that child is not your husband's, that you cheated. They try. They have hit. There's one mother who hit the child with a shoe, with a heel, and the girl was admitted in hospital. They take the girl as a competition. They take her as a threat, and the girl tries to please. The church is saying, "Obey your mother," and be very careful with the churches and family. We respect churches, but when you realize you're dealing with abuse, churches don't know how to handle abuse. They just know prayer.
Yeah.
let's pray, things will be okay. They can delay there for 10 years. You go to family organizes a clan meeting, your family meets you there. What kind of nonsense is that? A person is being abused at home and families are meeting here to discuss what?
I know.
And then after the clan meets, you're told now things are better, go back.
I know. Go back to the same, and there's no change.
I ask even men, because we also have narcissistic women who take men who help. I ask people, once you realize you are dealing with a make or break situation, don't go to church, don't go to family. Anytime, in any case, many people have already tried and they know what to expect.
Yeah.
Don't even, I have no problem with church counselors, but sometimes they feel a need to stay by the Bible and they can't find anything that allows them to say this is harmful for you, leave. They feel a need to say God hates divorce, the family, protect the family because of the children. Oh, and many times, especially if you consult a pastor, they are afraid that if you leave the marriage, you'll also leave the church because you will migrate to another place probably. You want to change your society. So they have a conflict of interest. So I tell people, once you realize you're dealing with a make or break situation, get a professional and a person you pay money. This free you people like. And one of the reasons people mental health is because we are ready to pay hospitals, but we are not ready to pay mental health practitioners.
Yeah.
We want it free. Part of the reason you keep getting poor standards is because you're not paying. People you don't pay, they must get their money elsewhere. So here they will give you the minimum they can get, you know.
Mm-hmm.
We have counselors who are so docile and they're talking like just your mother. How do you feel now? You know, this is your situation. Yeah, I'm not here to make decisions for you. This is your life. I hope you feel better. I hope at the end of it better. What are we doing here? So you don't want those kind of impotent services. You don't want those kind of scratching on the surface and pacifier. And I have a problem with Westerners. They are too afraid to offend. Do not impose your ideas on anyone. You know, everybody knows their figures they love. Don't impose it. So they're too careful to be effective. I mean, they're just afraid. They're trying to please everyone, and they're pleasing no one. You know. So I tell them, if you don't want to hear radical opinions, don't engage me because I don't know how to scratch on those. I'll cut to the chase.
I know. They call you the chief whip.
You saw that? So I told them, if something is stupid, I'll call it STUPID. Even if it doesn't make sense for me, please don't follow me if you don't like the way I put it. But I know we have enough careful people, politically correct people, come a little from the right, a little from the right, who try to ask whether this opinion might hurt you. In case I tone down a little bit. So how do you prefer I put it? Are you okay with this? There are people who have time for that. I don't have time for that. I go straight to the point.
You go straight to the point. And you know what? Yes. And what you're saying is so true, because we have a lot of people who are going through a lot of emotional turmoil, but they're afraid to voice it out. And I think, and when you started about self-esteem, that is so important, because sometimes when your self-esteem is low, you actually don't even know what you deserve, or you feel as though this is all I can get, or I have I don't want to be by myself. That's another trick whereby you feel as though if you're by yourself, or or if I walk out on something, I'm gonna lose, and all that is just about self-esteem, how self-worth. And so how can people even address that part? Because I know that's a huge part that causes people to be in situations where they are not supposed to be in, but they can't, but they just feel like if I lose this, I have nothing else. So
four things to know that you need help. Once you realize you struggle with fear, once you know you struggle with guilt, once you know you struggle with anger, and once you know you struggle with shame. If you any of those, in summary, fear is what says I am in the wrong environment. I need to feel. Guilt is what says I have done something wrong. I need forgiveness. I need to be cleansed. I need to rectify things. Anger is what says I have been done something wrong. I need justice. Shame is what says I am a wrong person. All of it involves wrong.
Yeah. That's true.
Fear. I'm in the wrong environment. I'm in the wrong person. I'm in the wrong relationship. I'm in the wrong marriage. I've been wronged. I've been done something wrong. Guilt,
Yes.
I've done something wrong. Shame, I am a wrong person. If you realize shame is the severest. When a person feels they're a wrong person, they walk in. And I want you to begin to be observant. You find a woman who's 47, but if you look keenly, she's behaving 7. Her spirit is squeezed.
Yeah.
Apologizing, giving way, careful to make any. Because when you have, do you realize you can be a very jubilant, vibrant person? Joy tells people one sign to know whether you are dealing with an emotionally abusive person, mentally abusive person, is to check what being with them has turned you into. It used to be a bubbly, jovial person after, but 3 years, 4 years into this relationship, you're suddenly timid, second guessing yourself, afraid. Even if the abuse they do is not, even if they never shout, they never hit you, but the effect of being with them has diminished you, reduced you. That's enough red flag. And society usually does not answer. Are you being beaten up? No. Is that cheating? No. So then those are just ups and downs of relationships. It'll be okay. Just pray. Just communicate better and be patient. The same narrative. Covert narcissists, covert abusers are very subtle. Yet they suck you like slow puncher. People can't hear the leaking. The effect is so powerful. Why I need you to leave an abusive relationship is because your children are watching. Don't stay there. I don't separate my children from their father or from their mother. If you stay in an abusive relationship, you're teaching them that abuse and love are coexistent. That people should stay in marriage even you're being conditioned them to be abused too. It's not for their interest. Some people with their father. I agree with my father or my mother. I don't want my children to grow the same environment. You assume having a father is always better than having none. Let me tell you, the tension between the two of you, the abuse affects the children more than the presence of that parent.
Yes.
You guys are in a country where the boy who the father abandoned became president. And the boy went to pay homage to a grave. We are not saying that is ideal, but you're saying if you have to choose between having peace with your children alone and staying with another abusive parent, negative environment, always choose the first. Once you realize you struggle with fear is what holds you back from trying things. If fear dominates your life, you become a settler. Settler are those who try to maintain status quo. These are people working the same job for 20 years. Joy, that's sick. 20 years. You don't know the book. You find that generations come, generations go, and you're just there. You are so afraid of switching jobs, you might miss a job and you might be lost. If fear is planted in childhood when your family fortunes change at once. If your father lost all the family money, or if you were attacked and violated personally, fear is planted. This world is not safe. Anything that happened in childhood, or you watched your parent being victimized, it plants fear. Anger is planted when you are being violated and you desire revenge and justice. Anger is normal for all of us. We need anger for self-defense. Without it, you wouldn't have problems. But it becomes a problem when it grows to a temper. When you have a short temper is not. Anger is healthy. And temper can be in you even when you are a very humble person. The Bible says Moses was a very humble person, yet it's temper that shortened his journey.
Yeah.
And the people who annoyed him, their annoyance was legitimate. Listen, even if the annoyance is legitimate, you must respond in a measured manner. If you respond out of control, you will carry the consequences. The law tries to negotiate about provocation, but by and large, you always carry the results of your own reaction. So if you find that you struggle with anger, short-tempered, short-fused, don't cross me there. No. I might lose it. It's your job to control your temper. Now, if you realize you struggle with, most likely you are violated from early on. And you feel and you know that your idea of power is force and in reality, mostly before they fight, they try to provoke each other. They try to annoy each other because they know when you are annoyed, you are not strategic. You are not proper. You are easily beaten. When you easily lose your temper, you lose control. If you realize you struggle with the guilt, you do something small and you beat yourself up, you have perfectionism. It's because mistakes were not allowed when you were growing up. You did a small mistake, you were overpunished. So your parents' overbearing voice became your own critical inner voice. And you
Yes.
continue criticizing yourself. Tell parents that how they talk to the parent, how they talk to children, they are teaching the children how to talk to themselves. That's what they don't do.
Oh wow. Oh wow. That is like so powerful.
Tell parents that the way you talk to the child, if you call the child names, the child will start calling itself names. If the child holds a flask, what you use, put tea, and because it's fragile, no, don't do that. You are teaching the child never to attempt anything risky.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Is the price of the flask so high that you won't let a child carry it? Better tell the child, okay, Junior, but be careful with your storage, and then you walk behind the kid so that in case they fall, you hold them.
Yeah.
If you see them holding the door because it can hinge and no, don't do that. You're driving me mad. Your father is driving me mad. You're driving me mad.
Oh my goodness. It's funny, but that's so sad.
You see a child with a remote control. No, you just like your father, remote control. Go and do your homework. So those things we say carelessly, they teach the child who they are in the world. The parent is the first voice. That first voice becomes the self-talk. Remind them that. We are all carrying, all we had to edit the way we were spoken to in childhood.
Oh my gosh.
If you're listening to me and you're the critical parent, you're one of the people who struggle with guilt. I don't need an assessment to confirm that. If you are over criticized, you became also over critical about yourself. Don't transfer that curse. Sometimes what we call generational curse are just passed on.
Yeah.
But you see, Joy, when you call them curses, you make them spiritual. And it's a demonic force. It's not me. It's a demonic force that operates in my generation. Pray for me. No. Some are just habits.
Oh boy.
Some are just habits. We call them spiritual. It's lust. Spirit of lust. Come out. These are just uncontrolled passions. So what if David started saying, no, I did not intend to sleep with Bathsheba. It is because my great Judah also done that with that. I know when you come down, even Abraham, you remember, it's not me. It runs in my blood. You can't shake off response. You can't quote generational patterns of your ancestors to escape responsibility. The only time God is telling you about family trend is to give you a direction towards your prayer. There's a spiritual part of it, but there's a practical part of it. Be very careful with the people who lose temper, they hurt you, but they quickly fall back on something spiritual. It's a way, even psychological. Even my great-grandma had schizophrenic tendencies, and my grandpa had bad temper, and even my, just understand me. They will kill you as you understand them. Once you feel you're not safe, understand the people from New York. You need to fly to Mississippi and pray for them from there. Let them remain in Texas as you pray. Oh, come back to Kenya. Come back to here. Tunatumia message Kiswahili. I want to live.
Oh my gosh.
Na tutakutuma kwa neno. Huku tuko na neno. Tuko na pastor huko neno anakemea watu na matusi. Hiyo ndio mambo.
Oh my goodness. But that is so true, because we see because there are things we do unconsciously, like how what you said about the way you talk to your kid, that's how they talk to themselves. That is really, really profound, because sometimes when we are rushing and everything, we're telling the kid, we shout at the kids, hurry up, you're gonna miss the bus, or hurry up, do this and this, we're gonna be late, and all that, And all that is just getting into the kid's mind instead of trying
especially blanket statements.
Mm-hmm.
You are never right. You never listen. You never get anything right. Yeah, that's how you hear today adults saying, "I never get anything right." Adults.
Yeah, and that is so true, because I remember, like, even when the lockdown had to start in March, and now the kids were home, and I'm trying to do my work, and it was just like, I'm not used to having them here all the time, 24/7, and I'm trying to work, they're trying to play, and they're supposed to do schoolwork, and it was just horrible. And I know I was getting so frustrated till I called one of my friends. She's also a child psychologist. I was like, you need to give me tips on how to manage this, because this is new. And I didn't want to just wing it, because I know people are just winging it. People are just getting upset and all that. But I was like, I don't want to wing it. I want to do it right. Just help me. And so she started giving me tips I didn't even know. And so that's why even I think this is such an important topic, just for people to know that when you don't know, instead of just trying to guess, ask for help. Because we've not been taught to ask for help. We always assume that when it comes to maybe raising kids, or when it comes to things that are emotional, we just have to deal with it ourselves, and we don't have to. We can always seek professional help. And you can contact Benjamin, send him a message on Facebook, so you can be able to get more tips and all that. So what do you think of that? Just us being able to be more open to seeking help, because I think a lot of help is needed in this area, but people just feel as though maybe they can handle it, and yet maybe they're just handling it all wrong, and actually sending even wrong, teaching their kids the wrong things.
Yeah, there's a language called child. Just because you give birth to a child does not mean now you are an expert. They the child.
Yes.
Parents will tell you, well, after they get the first child, they are learning how to parent also. As the child learns how to live in the world, you're also learning another world of parenting. Both of you are growing.
Yeah.
Although you don't, but many adults forget that they are supposed to learn with a child. And they assume they are experts, and they impose their wrong notions and ideas, and they end up hurting the child more. Secondly, when the second child comes, they try to apply what they learned to the first child, not knowing that some of the things are not applicable to the next child.
Yes, that is so good.
These children, especially second child, that child will have a very different personality from the first one.
Yes.
Be careful if the first child is a girl and the second one is also a girl. Firstborn and secondborn girls always, 90% will have sibling rivalry. And if you're not awake to that sibling rivalry, you will promote it by negative comparison. If one of the child is academically oriented, the other one is more artistically oriented. One is scientific, the other one is, because the second child always goes the opposite of the first, because they don't like the way the first child behaves like the parent. Bosses over there, tries to control them around. They take the liberal way of life. They become journalists, become artists, become model, DJ. But the firstborn, usually they become doctor, lawyer. Firstborn, they do the careers that society upholds, and they are very compliant. There is no firstborn who is neutral. Firstborns are either very compliant or very defiant. Those who cannot bear the authority, they go. Study the history of America, and you find that of the first 21 presidents of America, of the first 23, 21 were firstborns.
Wow.
Firstborns are oriented towards leadership. Firstborns are oriented towards compliance and upholding society. They are overrepresented in medicine, health, sciences. They are overrepresented in nursing, engineering. They're caregivers. They are taking care of their younger ones. They're nurses. They take care of. Secondborns, on the other side, have a point to prove. I can choose my own path, So they are free spirits. So a parent who is going to raise these two opposite personalities, how shall they then behave if you are raising two opposite children, and you must provide a conducive atmosphere for each of them. One of the simple ways is let the child tell you, let the child flow with the child's energy. Try to sense the child's energy and cultivate them in that direction. If they are artistic, facilitate and buy them the equipment, promote, encourage, congratulate them there. Don't compare them with the other child.
Yes.
You can damage. Many of the firstborns are also very, very afraid to offend. They are very, because parents will tell them, you are my first child and you're frustrated if you fail me. What example are you setting for the young ones? If you don't go to university, where will they go? So we set unrealistic standards with the firstborn until we sort of conditioned them not to try anything new, not to try a new direction. So firstborns are also most frequent victims of narcissistic abuse because they're very compliant. That compliance is sensed. Sometimes they are timid. They struggle with shame and guilt and fear. Those three, shame, guilt, and fear, are when you implode inside. You direct the punishment, the pain inside. Anger is when you explode it outside. So shame, guilt, and fear, you implode. Anger, you explode. So men are more frequent with anger. You see men just writhing, and if you have a 5-year-old who cries the kind of cry that is, or that of a protest, that's anger. That's not pain. You need to control that early in life. Don't let it take root.
And how do you control it?
Don't reward it. Sometimes they cry like that, give them something. Don't give them what they're asking for. Let them know that kind of crying has no result, has no reward. And you in a system that says you should not whip your child. You must find another way of disciplining your child, because the same society that's telling you don't cane, don't do this. If the child becomes a delinquent, where will you take them? This is your child. You're the one who bear the pain. So you must find. So one simple way of replacing the cane, but still being very effective, is having system of rewards. When you behave this way, there's reward. When you misbehave, you put back the reward. And one simple is withdrawal of affection. If they know that if they manipulate and they expected you to congratulate them, you withdraw, you ignore them. Children can't stand their mothers ignoring. They learn early and they learn to comply, cooperate. Even during feeding. Kuma chuna ye mukataze hiyo kunyonyo. They practice their two teeth with you because they're itchy.
You're like, don't practice on me.
So let them go for a long time without it, so that when they get it, they'll treat it well. It starts that early. If it is food and they are behaving funny, they are moody, I don't want this food, make another one, don't cook another one, tell them that's the meal for today. Let them sleep hungry practically. Let them actually sleep hungry. If they are being moody there and everybody has finished eating and they're just there quiet and they're not, take the food away, pray, let's go to sleep.
Yes.
One night they won't die, yet they will get the lesson. When they wake up at night begging, please give me that food. And then you give them the food there and you just sit there for them to eat. No pampering, no nothing. Now they have registered. The behavior I started with doesn't work.
Yeah.
You're not caned anywhere, yet you have affected.
Yes.
Even without abuse. There's no abuse there. All of it is, we call it negative reinforcement. This was mother's affection is so powerful. If they can just learn how to play this way with it, reward what you want to promote, withdraw from what you want to discourage. That reward, children's brain goes by pleasure principle. What feels good is good. What feels bad is bad. So don't. And again, if you're parenting with a parent who, instead of using discipline, they're spoiling the child, especially the narcissist. When you cooperate with a narcissist, those wicked people who just selfish, egotistical, arrogant, proud, twisted at the core. They parent at like a superhero. They want to win the children and show them how better they are than you. So it's always a competition. They'll buy the children phones, gadgets, just to win them. And occasionally they'll show up in the children's life like a visiting superhero. to make you look dull and boring because you are disciplining, you speak the truth is never pleasant. Tell them do your homework on time, sleep on time, do your schedule. But them they're coming, hey, live easy, man, enjoy life. What do you want? Let for take selfie, but they don't affect you. They're just trying to make you look bad. So if you find yourself unfortunate enough to have to cooperate to the nurses, you're going to have to do double effort, double the effort to show these children that you are willing to stand with the right way, even if it means losing them. You don't mind, but you're going to know what is right in the end. Because narcissism can be modeled, children can learn it. So if you're raising children, you must learn the language called child. So we said if you have a firstborn, secondborn, do not compare them unfavorably. Simply learn the different energies. Remember with Albert Einstein, if the mother was thinking like our contemporary parents who are grading children by the month, my kid gets airplane, top of the class. Which class? Compared to that class could be a class of dummies. Take them to another class, the tail themselves. Is the most useless document in school. Just comparing kids who are not the same. Check your kid versus their own gifts. In fact, be very worried when your kid is sharp here, but they don't have kindness, forgiveness, self-control, patience. They cannot wait calmly. They cannot wait a child who was having trouble. They can't help a kid who is struggling with the mathematics. Instill character, just as you instill brains. Look at forgiveness. Teach them to say sorry and please. Especially tell mothers of boys to do the following. To teach that the boys to speak emotional language. To teach the child to say, the boy to say, I'm sad. I feel hurt. I feel ignored. I am disappointed. I am overwhelmed. I feel hungry. Tell your boy to say those words. If only we can teach boys that it's normal to express emotions. Let's stop complaining. What's happening with the boy child? The boy child is lagging behind. Well, something's wrong with the boy child. Boy child, boy child. And I'm telling people, it's not the boy child, it's the boy father who did not teach the boy that it's normal to be more. We think, suck it up, man. Lion shed no tears. Be tough, utakufa ngumu. This life.
I know you'll be tough till you die, or being tough.
Rigidity in life resembles death, a cadaver. Dead things are rigid. Life requires flexibility and reality, flexing with what you can't change. When Corona hit, most people ran to hide. Those people are success-minded, simply checked which other opportunities are here. And that's why we have online. We are more comfortable with online now because people are restless. Those who are out for success say, which way can we try online? Before, counseling was confined to a room and you must sit at a certain angle. If it's a female client and you're a guy, you must sit at 75 degrees that you're not too present, that you're not too imposing, not to make eye uncomfortable, arrange the shit in such a manner that,
oh my gosh. But that is so true. That is so true.
Everything was just so arranged, so calculated. It must be 45 minutes, at most 1 hour. Just listen to the emotional state of the client, and if you feel that they have emotion, you can postpone and you refine. Everything dictated. Can we just talk? Can we just do life? That's why I said I don't want to be a counseling psychologist. I want to be a life coach. So you don't need to be mentally sick or depressed or in a crisis for us to talk. Can we talk life? Can we talk investment? Can we talk relationship? Can we talk and I told you, if you study the American Psychological Association, APA is a guide even here in Kenya. That code, there's no self-esteem as a mental health condition. It's not there.
Wow.
They don't diagnose it. They diagnose everything else. Oh, narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, a major depression episode 1, a major depressive disorder episode prolonged, clinical. And I said, can we? I look around and I see people lack confidence. Can we discuss just that?
Yeah.
Can we discuss Can you teach this girl that just deciding you are royal, you are queenly, can change the whole atmosphere around you, the whole vibe around you? Men can begin to respect you just because you hold your head high and you are jubilant and you have this buoyant. But by the way, can I tell you something? A funny history. Nick Columbus, that guy, the explorer, had no royal connection at all. That guy just decided he is royal. He wanted to go and explore, and to be explored and to be financed by government. It's too expensive to have 3 ships with full personnel going around in the whole years, around in the ocean looking for islands. Christopher Columbus had no connection with the presidency or the royal families, but he sat one day like the way we are seated today. Guess what? I am royal. He just decided that, and he started carrying himself, attending their parties. You know, there's a way people can carry themselves so confidently until you are ashamed to verify their credentials.
Yeah, I know. You're like, maybe there's something I'm missing that I don't know them.
People act like they know you, and you're too embarrassed to ask them where they know you from.
It's true.
You have to also act like you know them. And then you start figuring out later, oh, that? Where did we meet? Present. You know? Christopher decided. And you know what? That's how people like the Queen Isabella came to believe in him and financed him. First mission, second mission. The first one failed to discover any lands. The second one, and he also demanded titles to be called a Prince of the Emerald of the Ocean. He demanded titles, and he was given the titles. He also asked that when he discovers new lands, any trade with that new lands, his family should be given 10% of all those commerce. He demanded many things. But Isabella was careful to deny. She granted everything he requested except that 10% thing. It was printed in fine print. Be careful with fine print. Fine print always, the devil is always in the detail. So Columbus did not read the fine print. Although, if that had been granted, it would have eventually made his family the wealthiest in the world, because the land he discovered brought a lot of commerce. I'm trying to tell you, we need to discuss self-confidence and tell our sons that what matters is not to be like, prudish and, just muscular and try to lower your voice. It is to believe in yourself, not the kind of belief that looks arrogant. The kind of belief that Christopher Columbus had, which is called silent self-assurance, a quiet self-assurance that you deserve the best, so you reach for it, ask for it, demand it. It is that self-assurance, a sense of entitlement, not the out of proportion entitlement, but a sense that I deserve, I can do this, and to tell our daughters that the way you feel matters more than the way you look. The world may not. Even when I talk on phone, I may not see you, but your confidence comes through the voice. When I see how beautiful you are and I come to talk to you, the vibe we send out affects me more than the way you look. If you send out the vibe of you're strong, that's how we have our girls overdoing makeup. They're compensating a lack they feel inside. Others forsaking the makeup. They feel that even if they apply anything, they won't look good. And they always masquerade it like I'm just natural, I don't like makeup, I just like it simple. I want people to appreciate me for who I am. You see, your character is just visible. We need to see you still. You have all these qualities inside of you, but how can we see them? They're inside. There's a place for looking good. the one who's overdoing makeup, we tell them there's a moderation. If you overdo it, you're showing there's something you're trying to cover up. So you're supposed to use it to enhance your personality, not to cover it, manipulate it, or change it. Don't swallow mercury. Don't try to change your skin color. Apparently, the white are trying to get black. The black are trying to get white. You do not understand. It's a restlessness. All this goes back to self-esteem. And the best way to teach our children on early is to correct them with love, to tell them you are showing them the best way, but at the same time, teach them that this world has structure and consequences and reward for behavior.
It's true, because that and everything actually, just like that part of self-confidence and self-esteem and self-worth, all that affects every area of someone's life. Because if you have low self-esteem, low confidence, there are things you will never try to pursue. There'll always be a dream that you have, but you'll never pursue because you just never think you're good enough for them, or you never think that those opportunities would ever come to you. And even when I started breaking limitations, I started this because I had gone through even me, my whole season of just feeling like you're not good enough, or I can't do this and all that, or just being criticized. And I came to a place where God really shifted my way of thinking and just showed me my value. And I stopped doing everything, and God was like, I love you for who you are. You don't have to try anything. You don't have to do anything. And I feel a lot of people feel like they have to qualify for love, or you have to qualify to be appreciated and all those things. And that is not true. You're just lovable because as long as you're alive and God put you here on earth, you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be treated well. And when we come to understand that, then we will actually be able to value ourselves more, and we'll be able to even pursue our purpose with passion. But sometimes when you have low self-esteem, you don't really have passion because you just feel like, anyway, why should I try? Or this might never work, all those things. And, but it's really important to be able for people to come to really, especially in this season where people have lost jobs, people have lost homes, people have lost their businesses. And maybe those are things that made them feel like they were worth something, and now they feel like they kind of don't know where they belong and all that. But I want people to know that, you know what, your value does not come from things. Your value comes because you're a child of God. You're put here on earth. You're valuable regardless of what you have. So that's really
that's right.
Yeah, that's something I really just think is so important for us to be able to know. And just what you said about even how we raise our kids, things we say, oh my gosh, there's so much to learn. I feel like we'll need to be here for like 3 hours to unpack this. But
can I say something? Let me say one more thing.
Yes.
Let me say one thing about it. I meet women who are so pretty or so beautiful, and they just, looking at them, they look fine. And they ask me, why don't men stay with me? We start dating, they quit, start dating, they quit, they ghost me. But I can see the reason, and I'm afraid to tell her.
No, say it.
It's because she has such a low view of herself that it neutralizes all her beauty. Men soon sense that she's so needy of being validated, and she has so small view of her worth that inevitably he will see her also as cheap the way she sees herself. He will such a low view of herself. Respectability is what makes a woman valuable, desirable. When she self-respects so highly, she becomes such a high price because she's not easily hurt. So I want to ask women, don't go into any relationship. And that is something I need to emphasize. If you come from an environment of abuse and where you were criticized and put down and like strictness, your first duty is not to look for love. You will not get it because you don't have love yourself to give. Love is shared. It's not given. You need to be so live yourself so that you can affirm, lift another. But if you are needy and unsure, and you need to be lifted and give, the person soon feels like you are a weight. They'll soon quit. This world is already heavy as it is. Life is heavy as it is. We are looking for a person whom we can. I lift you, you lift me. We
lift me. Yes, to share life together.
But if you are so needy, I need to always feed you and put into you, soon everybody gets tired and quits. So what I usually do with those women in the package, in my counseling and my coaching, I usually begin to just restore their self-image. The moment they begin to beam, they glow with self, they tell there's something different now. Even people who had left are trying to come back. I'm telling her, now you are getting it. It's when they see how happy you are on your own that they want to come and share in that happiness. But if you look afraid and timid and defeated and scared and anxious, people might be originally attracted by your physical qualities, but soon they'll sense the void, the emptiness in your life, and it will be repulsive. So tell women to start by working, and even men to start working with your self-belief. How much, even when you get married, Joy, people ask me, how can we keep the fire at flame? How do we keep our life alive? One way to keep love alive, there are two major ways. One is to always have a project in front of you. Always have a project you're working on, some construction you're doing, something you have, things you're taking through school, things you're working through. It gives you the fighting together effect. But the second one is to keep your self-respect so high that a person knows that they are favored to harm you. You are not easily hurt.
That is so true, because I always tell people how my life, I feel as though my life used to be in black and white, and then it suddenly became like colored TV. That's the difference. And just seeing the possibilities and the things that I'm able to tackle nowadays, the different businesses, the different events and speaking engagements and everything, things I never used to think I could even do. And so, and when I talk of breaking limitations, we truly want to empower, to equip, and to promote. And that's also, like, especially this season, I feel we really need to help people when it comes to emotional health, because that part really sabotages people in business, when it comes to making business deals or decisions, or when it comes to even employment, or when it comes to just pursuing. There are so many opportunities right now, like with this lockdown season and everything. There are a lot of opportunities, but if your self-esteem is low, you can even start to think that you can pursue some things or some contracts or some different business opportunities beyond what you normally do, because of just how you feel about yourself. So I would like to encourage people, start working on yourself, start to spending time understanding who you are. And I have a book here I got. It's called, I don't know if you've read it, this one is called Emotional Intelligence. Yeah, so it's a pretty good book too. And like people to just get some of these books, and then to follow you on Facebook and also on YouTube. And yeah, can you tell people a little bit about some of the things you do so that they can be able to know whether they're in line with to reach out to you?
So I offer psychological counseling and life coaching a lot through online sessions. So Benjamin Zulu KE everywhere on social media, mainly on Facebook, Benjamin Zulu KE, also Instagram and Twitter, and also email benjaminzuluke@gmail.com. Should anybody want, they can always contact me. I'll be very glad to work with them. And especially if you have a man and you need him to be assisted, don't use the word counselor. Just say there's a life coach. Life coach is more marketable to men.
Yeah.
Men being told about counselor sounds like a rescue. You mean I'm so stuck, I need to be rescued. Some men have a difficult ego. The desire to be in charge and feeling like it's a failure and dropping the ball. No. But men don't mind having a conversation with a fellow man about life. Many of them don't mind. So I just call him, can we have a chat, man, about how you do your stuff, man. Men were given career before they were given family. So they're more concerned about career. About even when they men introduce themselves, they introduce that I'm the CEO, I'm the director. They introduce the titles of jobs.
Yeah.
Women introduce family. Okay, so my mother or two and a grandmother of 1 or 6 months now.
That is so true.
Men cannot say I'm a grandfather. Grand who? So, sometimes here at home, I get married, and the following day I hear my wife calling me and say, "Hey, nimekuja na mzee wangu." Na ndio mzee wapi?
You're like, I'm not an old man.
Yeah, I forgot some of you here don't get Swahili very quickly, but notoriously domestic. So people can reach out and also study a lot of my work. I am very passionate about people who are 25 years old. Let me finish this. You have a high divorce rates in America because children are being allowed to choose mates under the disguise that they are grown enough. People before 25, the brain matures to be able to think rationally at 25. 10 to 24 is teenage brain. But over there, kids at 18 are adults, kid at 20. So you hear this 19-year-old is dating another 23-year-old. They cannot pick, their personality solidifies past 25. Most people will tell you that they woke up as though from a dream when they reach 26, 27. They begin to look at their life objectively. So if you have a child who is a teenager, encourage them to develop their skills first, to build a base for their career all the way to 24. When they reach 25 now, they know where they are going their career. They can date the person who's going that direction. The reason they divorce, those who marry at early 20s, divorce at early 30s. Just start looking around. It doesn't last because you married when you are not who you are. When you finally become who you are forced to choose your dream versus your marriage. Most people will stay in the marriage at the expense of their dreams and they'll become bitter and very angry. Other people say, away with the marriage, I can't stay like this. If you don't want me to become who I am, I have to go. So you will see people, many of them. So many of those breakups are usually, if you invite me to a wedding and the bride or the groom is under 25, I usually say a silent, sad prayer. Oh God, I can.
You were like, oh my gosh.
Yes, because I know they're taking and jumping the dark. Are we saying people can't marry under 25 and make it? No, we're not saying that. But you're saying the brain is like a muscle. It only stabilizes at 25. You can do it before then and get it right, but it's a hit and miss. Like crossing the Mississippi River on a rope. You can't prescribe that. That is the safest way. I crossed myself, I made it. You can make it too. There's no road. You'll be eaten by crocodiles. So is to say, but even those who make decisions past 26 must use the brain they have. Some don't think, they just ignore everything. They're too insecure, they have esteem issues, and they close their mind the same way you can close your eyes. The brain is like a tool you can close, and then that you can use it now, think rationally, that detached. Another day, let us discuss that more. The best age to date. If you want to the marriage to last, you must do it in the right season. There's a time and a season for every matter under the sun. I don't know why we disregard that when it comes to making decisions of life. But other things, you're trained for 4 years to become a BCom, 5 years to become a nurse, 7 years to become a doctor. How many years again to become a wife? How many years to become a husband? Nobody is training us. And yet, for career, we are taken purposefully with a graduation and a professional body to regulate over, but nobody is training us basics of picking. And a life mate affects your life more than career. You can choose. Yeah. You can change careers faster than careers are not as emotional. Life mate is so emotional, affects you, there are children involved emotionally. And yet that is one thing we should be training our children more. So if you have a kid who is finishing high school, from the time they are 17, train them for the next 7 years. Put them under intense training about marriage and the narcissism and the scientists and manipulators and the healthy people, how to identify this, what is the litmus test, which direction, how shall you tell? Teach them theory, not practical. And don't take your kids to girls' schools and boys' schools. The world is not segregated. Take them to mixed schools because that's how the world looks like. If you take them to girls' schools, which world are you preparing them for? They begin to behave like animals that have been separated. The moment they're released, they just run.
That is so true, because we prepare kids for we prepare people for everything. There's no career you'll go into without preparation. But when it comes to marriage, people just go into marriage, or you'll go for maybe counseling for 6 weeks, and then you feel like, okay, yeah, we did something, we did counseling, but that doesn't even touch the surface of what it is that you're supposed to experience, or what it is that what it is you're about to enter into. And so I think, like what you said, we have to do this again. You have to come back again. I know this is your time to go to sleep, but we have to do this again, because I think in this day and time, for us to be able to save the upcoming generation, we have to get ourselves together. And in order for us to get ourselves together, we have to know these things that we were not taught, because some of these things we are learning as we go. But if we had learned them before, would have made different choices, would have raised our kids differently, and all those different things. But as we are learning, then we should be able to learn, and then we'll be able to equip the generation that's coming, that can be a better generation than what we are right now. So we are here to build a legacy.
Right. That's right.
Yes, but this is so awesome. I know people have questions. Let me acknowledge people. So many people have said so many things. I've been trying to put them up there a little bit, but so we have a war, Dr. War, and she said that she knows mental health professionals are underappreciated. We have Alan, who said we teach what people need to hear, not what they want to hear. Yeah, that's true. When the people go for counseling, sometimes they're just told what they want to hear. We have Lydia, who's also watching. She said the church is not properly equipped for some of these things we're talking about. We have Tracy, Jane, we have Grace Mudell, we have Edward, we have Sylvia Waters, we have Mercy Kamau. You see here, we have Prophetess Cassandra, and today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Prophetess. We have Jane Kim. She said she'll be calling you. We have Mary Kim also on the line. We have Faith, Maggie, and then we have Faith, Musilu. We have Akini Adoyo. She said we need firstborn syndrome recovery therapists.
I know. I know.
I know. So firstborns, wait. And I was going to ask you about also, me, I'm a fifth born. So as guys, we are way back there. We've been treated like, by the time we come in the scene, they don't even care. Like, you just walk by yourself, go do this.
How many children are you?
6.
And you're number 5 out of 6.
Uh-huh.
How many girls, if you don't mind talking this publicly?
4 girls. We are 4 girls and 2 boys.
All right. When the family is large, they cluster. The first cluster grows and goes. The second cluster comes. So you can have number 5 who acted like the leader in the smaller cluster, or the number 2 in the smaller cluster. So depending on the spacing and the gender, the larger families group. In my family, we're 11 and I'm number 6. So where am I?
Wow.
But I adopted a first position in the second cluster.
In the second group.
So I have those so far ahead of me, I don't recognize them as siblings. They are more of my parents. I never being young. So, and to them, I will remain a child. The way they saw you, that's how they see you throughout life. The family is what dynamics never change. Whether you get money or you don't get money, people still call you that name they used to call you when you were a kid. People use the same. So we should talk about firstborns, because firstborns become rescuers of the world, and they go rescuing even abusers.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because even I noticed, even just with my firstborn daughter, she's so responsible, and she feels responsible for her brother all the time. And I was just like, I guess this is just a firstborn thing, because it's not even in me to feel like to be so responsible like that. But she's very responsible. She makes sure, like, have you done this? Have you done your homework? Especially with this virtual learning. I even said, I'm going to pay you. You just teach him, because she's like, have you done the homework? It's time. You need to log into your Zoom. You need
Exactly. That's the root. That's the root. And the good news is this: firstborns are the most marriageable in the market.
As guys, we are lost.
You will get husband. You are too much of free spirit. This is a free spirit. Just want to enjoy my life. Don't tie me down.
You're like, I know we want to enjoy life. We want to try this and try that and everything. You're like, okay, we want stability, but still, there's so much life to see.
So that quality in that firstborn girl of yours, it's what will give her careers. They become trusted. They don't stay without jobs. People know how reliable they are. And they also don't lack husbands. The thing we need to teach them, that girl will get a man. It's about the kind of man I want you to train her for. She can marry that kind of a brother. She can marry a man who needs her like that, because she's familiar with that. You need to coach her that she also has needs. This brother doesn't meet her needs. He's just feeding on her. So you need a man who feeds her, who responds to her needs also. So first, sometimes begin to define love as being needed. So when they see where they're needed, they think that's a relationship. So as evolves, introduce that balancing effect. Introduce that. I like the way you take charge of your brother, but remember this world. There are men who will always play that role, and it will sound familiar to you, and you mistake it for chemistry. You think, oh, we have to that guy because he resembles the role you're used to. You need a person who means.
Yeah, I think we need another session for firstborns. Firstborn, and then we need one for lastborns. Lastborns are like a mess.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, and then, but also just, how people can continue to build their self-esteem. I think that is really key, because I feel like if that is just, I think just building self-esteem alone will cause so many, will solve so many issues. Yeah, because I think a lot of people are stuck because of their self-esteem. They just don't feel good, like I'm not good enough. That thing of just I'm not good enough, or can I get someone else, or even just being afraid of being alone.
You're right.
Yeah, and we have to get to a place where we're just comfortable being alone, because when you're comfortable being alone, then when someone comes into your life, then you can merge your lives. You're not needy and all that. So yeah, this is really, really good. Someone is saying they need another session for second bonds. They have the only child syndrome. There's so many syndromes here. Oh, they say talk about single parents and dating. Can you mention a little bit of that?
All right. When you're a single parent and dating, we have many rules. Don't drag your children to the dating site. Don't call yourself mama anyone, the mother to anyone on social media. Advertise especially if you're a woman, the lady. The lady. You have identities. You have Joy the mother, Joy the lady, Joy the worker, Joy the wife, advertise the lady. And that's why I encourage people to use their two names instead of using a surname. So that in case of in your marriage, you don't need to adjust the name. So earlier in life, social names are different from official names. So for social names, use your two names, the back and the middle. Market, you never need to change your identity on social media, wherever. Another thing is, do not think that your value has diminished now that you have children. The people you are dating, most likely they also have children, they also have a life. Actually your high self-respect can make a man who has never had a family before when you're a woman to marry because of the value you bring. So don't accept that notion. Don't lower your self-concept. Don't lower your self-value saying, I already have children, I'm not that market, I'm not hot anymore, I'm not fresh. It's not about your body only. It's about the spirit. And remember, youth is energy and vibe. It's not years. You can be youthful even when you are 60, 50, 40. You can be very old when you're 25 because you're just rigid and just there. So when you are resistant to new ideas, you're not playful. So if you maintain a playful, open spirit, you feel young even when you're not young. So don't use this word, I'm old now. Never say that, because the world will believe it. Remember, we said the world listens to what you tell them to believe, to know how to treat you. So always set your price high, because the world will always bargain downwards. Decide you are young. Decide you are forever young. Act. You're not saying you are denying. Okay, you know your age, yes, but you're saying, so what? You might as well be adventurous and open and what? Just live life. Don't care about the age. Just sometimes I want it when people finally find your age, they get surprised because they tell you you're very open-minded. You're young, you're still going. Even if you have children, you're the person who makes my life best. Remember, men marry you when you mesmerize them. They don't marry you when you look like the woman next door. When you are replaceable, you will be replaced. That is a rule. You must be irreplaceable. You need to make it impossible for people to find another person like you. That's how they say, I have no choice. I have to marry this woman.
Wow. I hope that was a good answer, because yes, we have really gone way beyond time. I know it's time for you to go and sleep. As guys, it's afternoon. We can keep going. So people are asking more and more questions. But this has been so awesome. The information was awesome, and I just want people to be able to, like I said, people can reach you at on your Facebook page. They can reach you they can also send you an email. And then also, guys, if you want to sow a seed, you can sow a seed using my Cash App, which is Breaking Limitations, and then and that's the handle there. And Benjamin, thank you so much for just blessing us today. We have really been blessed. So many people have logged in. Let me just acknowledge them. So we have Irene, We have Grace Njuguna. We have Patricia, who has logged in. We also have Carol Gitangu. She said, awesome session. And then we have Terry Kiama, we have Teffy, we have Janet Sparkles, we have Brenda, we have Tracy. We have people from all the different states who have logged in. So we have Joanna who's watching. Yeah, so we have a lot of people from all these different states. So guys, let me go ahead and I'll just put that the Facebook handle here for Benjamin. So you can be able to find Benjamin on his Facebook page, or also you can send him an email and he'll be able, you can sign up as for life coaching or counseling sessions, especially for men. But this has been awesome. I know it's taken a long time, but thank you so much. And we'll definitely have to do this again. I hope you enjoyed yourself, because we want you back. We always watching you on. We always watch you on Facebook when you're having the interviews. I think is it Bramel?
Yes.
Yeah. So we always watch that because it's always like late in the evening, just before we go to bed. Yeah. So I'm always like in the middle when I'm doing stuff. I watch that and all that before I go to bed. So we like that interview. Yeah, so we are among those who are always there, and people always send each other like, "Oh, Benjamin is on. You better be on."
Wow.
Yeah. Yes. So just know you're making an impact. If Kenyan people are not telling you, the US people are letting you know. And now we are so excited. We are connected through technology. It's much easier now. So much easier. People are more reachable. The people are more open to do that stuff online. So that's awesome. Yeah, but thank you so much. So guys, this is it. I know we've taken more than an hour and we've taken your time for sleep, but thank you so much. Let me go ahead and I'll end the broadcast.